Morning, little video of the boys who are washed and ready. There's Mary, she's also washed and ready as it happens, and little Tiki Woo as well. There we are. So we're about to start day 2 of the horse archery weekend. The last of the horses is getting washed there, that's Bullseye. So we're reasonably early in the morning. We've got Casties over here, which is our drying unit. That's south facing, so the bricks heat up in a beautiful way in this corner, and it's perfect for drying the horses. There we go. What else is going on? We've got a bunch of naughty chickens, so we've absolutely increased our chickens. Had a mass hatch out. There was a chicken in the hay shed sitting on all the eggs. We were wondering where all the eggs had gone, and they'd managed to go into the hay shed. And we discovered them about 3 days ago, and now they've all hatched. So there we are. We've now got 19 more chickens than we had before. It was very exciting. So day 1 was absolutely fantastic. We had 12 people learning horse archery for the first time. Some had been before and forgotten the technique, so they came back for beginners camp, which is very sensible. It was marvellous, but the wind, oh my word, it was blowing a gale. So we've got this new bell tent to do a bit of glamping so that everyone's got somewhere to stay. It's got lights, it's got a real fire, a tiny little pipsqueak stove that you break up tiny little sticks, and it keeps the whole thing warm. All laid out with plush cushions and such like. Of course, first thing that happened as soon as we came around the corner, with all the people to this beautiful thing, the thing had blown down and was going like a jellyfish. Blowing like a jellyfish, and it was all ripped and everything. So late last night, I was stitching the tent up, and here we are, back in its resplendent glory. It's back up and it lives again. There's more horses coming in, which is marvellous. I don't know if you can see right in the distance there, someone's training their archery. And on this glorious day where it's no longer blowing a gale, that's all fabulous. There we go. So, morning! So yesterday was a great success. Some people had never done that before. Some people had never even ridden with reins before. I just want to say, reins are not for stopping you from falling left and right. You've got little platforms under your feet for stopping you falling left and right, and they're called stirrups. And that's what stops you going to the left and right. So you should be perfectly able to ride without any reins and not feel that you're going to fall off. That's what stirrups are for. So it was quite we had a conversation. It was quite a voyage of discovery for some people who had never even considered putting down the reins and riding the horse. So it was a voyage of discovery, and it was great, and we had a great conversation about pulling on your brave pants. That is a phrase that I hate. Now, I don't know if you know much about me or what we do here. I've just showed you that we do the horse archery. You can see on the page loads of stuff about horse archery, or just Google horse archery, Hemel Hempstead, horse archery London, Karl, Greenwood, it'll all come up. We also teach jigotovka, which is a kind of Russian tent pegging with gymnastics as well, that is the originator of what is now called trick riding. And if anybody should talk about pulling on their brave pants, really, it should be me. People should go, oh, you're so brave. Of course I'm not brave. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not brave. So, if we're not pulling on our brave pants and we're managing to fly around the world getting on horses that we don't know, and you don't know them, you just get them drawn out of a hat. Some might be fast, some might be slow, just the way it is. Then how does it work? So we had somebody phone up on Friday to book in for the Rider Confidence course, book it in for their wife, and they said they're not going to do it themselves because they're not brave enough. Well, I don't do brave. That's a certain personality type. If you're going to pull on your brave pants, it's just not me, and not most of the people that I know. I prefer to be trained rather than brave. If you're trained, and if you're trained in at the step that you are, at the level that you are, and you master that, and that becomes in your comfort zone, then you can move on out your comfort zone, as most of the training programs advise. They say move out of your comfort zone. That means master where you are first and then move out of your comfort zone. Being trained is way, way, way better than being brave. You can be brave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, but eventually you get to a plateau where you don't learn anything and you're just scaring yourself to death and throwing yourself at whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. There's always a way of breaking it down. The size of the mindset that you need to break it down is one that a 7-year-old can cope with. The primitive part of our brain that has the flight and fight response has the processing power of a 7-year-old. So it doesn't really matter if you're 77, 87, 97, you've still got to break your bite sizes down to that a 7-year-old could cope with. So when you're sitting quietly at your house planning your next day's lesson or session or activity, you've got to bear in mind that you've got the processing power of a 7-year-old. So instead of going at the jumps that you used to do and cursing yourself because you've lost your confidence there, you wouldn't do that to a 7-year-old. You'd just say, don't worry, these things happen, and then you'd arrange the jumps at a different height, or maybe even go down to the point of, look, if you've really lost your nerve, let's lay them on the floor and walk over them. That's a bite size that a 7-year-old could go with. So overwhelmingly, I cannot say that I approve of anybody pulling on their brave pants. And here at the horse archery course, we don't encourage that at all. People are learning new things. Learn it in little bite sizes. We start off at walk, we're leading the horse. That takes about 10 minutes, perhaps less. And then we trot the horse, but we only shoot the last target, so you've got 80 metres of just slow rising trot to get used to your horse before you have to put down the reins, pick up your arrow, shoot a target. Bite size, bite size, bite size. And we just work on from there at the pace that you want to go. And it's the same with anything else that we teach. The rider confidence, the jigotovka, the horse archery, and it's the same way that I train myself as well. So if you want to know how to be brave on your horse, just don't. Just get a bite size within that bite size that is within your capability. And if that means getting on your horse, sitting there for 10 seconds and getting off again, if that means spending a year long reining it till you're more confident with the way it's going to react with this, that or the other, if that means spending every 15 minutes just doing a little session at the mounting block, so that some people have got all the horse fidgets at the mounting block, 15 minutes into your session, stop doing your circles, get off, get on again, carry on. It's a little bite size for your confidence and your horse's training, because as you achieve each bite size, the horse will know that you're somebody to be listened to be leading the dance, as it were. So there we are. How to be brave? Don't. How to be trained? Do. Well, it's getting on. I'd better get back to setting up this horse archery day 2 in the camp, and it's going to be marvellous. See you later.